Jumbo, fellow adventurers, welcome to another spiritual tune-up. I'm Mike Dooley. Post your questions below today on Facebook or Instagram, and it could be my talking point in the days ahead. Today's question is about sleepless anxiety, which I know a little bit about. My whole life, I've bordered on a little bit of anxiety, and I've got three tricks for you. Okay, first, the question. Mike, can you explain how one can stop or deal with fears creeping in? I know our upbringing conditioned us. How do we break away from these rigid negative thoughts, these fears? First, whenever somebody wants to bring up the past, and this was done, reasonably, I know our upbringing conditioned us. It's not that complicated. Yes, there's all kinds of negativity in the world. Even parents or guardians who loved us very much unnecessarily scared us. But you can set yourself free on a dime in a moment through understanding your power. The power you have lies in the present moment, and it is magnified exponentially when you drill down to truth. You're an unlimited gladiator of love and joy. You're inclined to succeed. The whole world is your oyster. You're pushed on to greatness every day. And if there is an imbalance, your entire being knows how to heal it and is working on it. So you've got more going for you with this condition or any other condition than you typically ever give yourself credit for. You're going to hit a home run. You're going to get past sleep anxiety. You're going to get past all those other isms and fears that may be bothering you. So now, first, my three tips for you. These may seem so little, but it took a while for me to get them myself. Number one, whatever is bothering you, do something about it. Now, I understand from a metaphysical perspective, if you are doing something about the thing that bothers you, it can very often reinforce its existence in your life. But still, I have found, given our inclination to succeed, even if we do something a little bit negative, I'll give you an example in a minute, because of our innate positivity and the other positive things we're doing, that negative thing will not amount to a hell of beans, yet because of the expression and that you're in action and that you're taking control of the situation by doing something, everything gets easier. Vividly, I remember 20 years ago, really worried about money. I didn't know what my career would be. I just liquidated a t-shirt business. I was sending out some free emails. Is that going to go anywhere? Am I delusional? I've got bills to pay. What if I have to sell my home? If I don't have the money coming in? What if nobody buys it? What if I lose my home? But we try to resist those fears. Don't resist fear. Fear usually means you're exactly where you're supposed to be and there's a lesson to learn. So be there. And instead of resisting it and turning a blind eye to it, finally I capitulated and I really did something about, instead of just trying to make money, which was not going well, I went on the offense in cutting costs. I ate a lot of ramen noodles back then. I discontinued in phases my cable TV, and I assessed other things in my life where I made cutbacks. Now that might sound like escapism, that might sound like quitting. It felt like those things. It was very negative of me to be doing that. But the action I took that was so simple and cutting back little expenses and extravagances made me feel like I was in control. And although it was a negative demonstration that reinforced the lack of income coming in, it gave me so much calm to take control that in my other avenues of pursuit, my baby steps, knocking on doors, turning over stones, instead of writing emails as Mike, I could write them as the universe. Suddenly I had this new traction because I had peace of mind, because I took action, even though it was negative and it embroiled me with the total immersion into fear. I felt so much better. And again in my life, a sleepless night or two in the last couple of years, if I get up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and start working on that thing that's intimidating me, whoo, I feel so much better. Don't resist it. Okay, head on. You've got it in you. It wouldn't have shown up if you couldn't prevail. Trick number 2. Ask yourself, maybe do some journaling on your computer or when you walk the dog or whatever it is for you, when you're taking a bath. But pointedly give yourself some time to ask yourself, what might you be overlooking? It might be really small. It might be really small that because of earlier experiences, you've turned that small thing into a big thing. And once you realize it's that little tiny thing that's bothering you, it's not worthy of being a big thing status, and the fear can go away just by putting your finger on it. So write down, what am I missing in your journal? What could I be seeing that's plain as day that I'm simply not seeing? And then write the answer. And it will feel like you're making it up. It'll feel like, oh, this is not real. It'll feel like I need a psychotherapist. Be your own psychotherapist, which is not a diss towards psychotherapy. If you need a professional, get a professional. There's no shame. But write your questions out. How else could I view this situation? Where else, what other alternatives might I evaluate? Depending on what's going on, write it and then write the answers. You don't have to follow the answer. Often starting an answer will lead to another answer, and you'll have clarity you didn't know existed. So ask what's being overlooked. And trick number 3, don't hate me for this. Be sure you're not oversleeping. What I mean is trying to sleep too much. I just shared this in a Q&A with my 21-day course right now, and I think it bears mentioning in this forum, and I know it's helped me so much when I have felt a little bit of insomnia in my life. Seth, S-E-T-H, dictated by the late Jane Roberts. You can find the Seth books, in particular, The Nature of Personal Reality, says that one of the things that happens to us is that we are told by society that we should have 8 to 10 hours of sleep a night. And I'm one of those people. 8 to 10 hours, sometimes 11 hours, okay? I need more sleep. I used to be one of those people. Seth says that really you should never sleep more than 6 hours, maximum, because your muscles are yearning for activity. And ideally what you would do would be to sleep anywhere between 3 and 5 hours and supplement that with a short nap or 2 later on in the day. Seth says, and the profundity of Seth is off the charts. So while I don't know things about sleep medically, given what Seth has shared, this has a lot of weight for me. And you can find these passages in that book I just named. Seth says that when we get older, if we try to sleep too long, we find our body doesn't need it and we can't fall asleep, which keeps us in bed to try to sleep longer and make up for it, which we can't because we don't need it. And then we stay longer in bed, and people are actually in bed way too long trying to sleep than they need sleep. And it creates this kind of vicious cycle, and you think to yourself, I have insomnia. It's like, no, you got enough sleep by 4 a.m. Now go and do something and take a nap later on if you want. That doesn't mean it's easy to get up at 4 a.m. necessarily. That doesn't mean naps are for everybody. But I have been taking naps for every afternoon for about 12 years now. And about 20 minutes. And you get a habit that's really easy. And it always means I need less sleep at night. Now with coronavirus, not that you really care, I've been getting up at 4 or 5, although today was 6, almost every morning. And just doing stuff, reading, typing, working, and taking a much longer nap in the afternoon. And it's fantastic. So I don't have any insomnia, and I don't think you need to have any insomnia, and neither do you need sleepless anxiety. You're here to thrive. All of the elements are conspiring on your behalf. Surrender with action, as we talked about yesterday. Okay, again, post your questions below. Thank you so much for asking them. Tomorrow I might be talking about what you posted today, Facebook or Instagram. And Facebook, Winnie, bless you. Michelle, Jennifer, glad you all are here. Kathy, Teresa, Heidi, Righty, glad you're here on Instagram. Manya Javart, cool name. Ralph, Emily, Animal Reiki Lady. Hasta luego. See you mañana. Have an amazing Tuesday.